So what we want to do here is different. What we want to do is when you tap on the button, it actually has two other buttons come out of it, and when you tap back on it, it goes back in. That's what we want to do. So let's see. The first thing, so there are two ways of doing the prototyping. I usually like using a component set, doing the prototyping in the component set, and then putting it in my in the UI, right, or in the frame. So I do not use a lot of real estate having duplicate screens, right? So that's what I usually do. I couldn't do that because the interaction here had to be on the frames themselves, not the buttons. So, but here, if you wanted to, if normally I would do it on the button, but there was an issue which I'm going to show, and perhaps maybe someone can help me with that if you are viewing, if you have an idea on what's going on. So the first thing we want to do is have this as a yeah. So we have this want to create components, but before we create components, we have to first of all do this. So we need new icons. Okay, so we need icons to replace these two buttons. So I had some icons that I wanted to use. I'm just going to paste here, and the first one is this. I'm going to paste to replace. I'm going to take the entire frame, paste to replace, and the color is going to be this. I'm going to make it different from the original button, so it's like sub actions, something like that. Then I'm going to I think this is good. Let me just check how it looks. And one more thing I need to do is to remove the shadow. So I do not want these guys to have shadow. I think this is good. This is also going to be let me remove the shadow. Uh, and then replace Ctrl X to cut and replace this space to replace. You can just click on I for fill color at any time. So we have our three buttons. There's still something I need to do, but let me just tidy up. Sorry, Ctrl Z. Tidy up here. Now the next thing I need these two buttons to have the text. I'm going to use write story. This is going to be 14 and maybe regular. I need to have it here. Yeah. And then we are going to have both of them framed, and I'll rename this to, let's say, right. And then we'll do the same for, let me just duplicate. Clicking on Shift Alt, and here will be take picture. And we also frame select. Let's name this picture so we know what we're using. We know what we are selecting when we are troubleshooting the prototype. Then this we can change this to, from here you could change from a group to a frame, and we'll change this to add add button. So we have three frames like so. And so what I'm going to do, these are three buttons, and they will be framed, they're going to be framed together. And this, the parent frame is going to be called button. So we have this frame for the one of the buttons, another frame for another button, and then the last one saying add. And the three buttons or the three frames are framed together, right? So what we're going to do now is to duplicate, because this is going to be the kind of the way to find out. One more thing. So when the text, the white text is here, you see, we can't see it. So we need to give it a different color for contrast. And I'm just going to um, take the blue and maybe make it bold or semi-bold. I'll do the same. Let me align this too. I'm going to do the same for this. And just so the content behind doesn't elapse with this text, because when you're scrolling it could elapse and then it'd be hard to see. So would also give this guy a fill color, and we'll say this is 44. That's the, I think, yeah, that's the perfect corner radius for, I think this is, yeah, 44 as well. So this is also going to be given a fill color. We have it 44, and this becomes semi-bold. Nice. And so so in the way the prototype is going to happen, okay, first of all, let me align this as well. So this is going to close up. The button text will close up like so. Let's click content, and then both of them close up at once, and the two buttons will come behind. It's supposed to actually be behind. We're going to come behind like that. That's how we want it. So the button closes and then it goes behind the plus button. So whatever you need, when prototype, whatever you need, the motion that you need to happen, you have to visualize it and see exactly. What I want to do now. So I'm going to use the component set to and do the prototyping, and then put um, an instance of it or a variant here, and you see how it works with the component set. So clicking this, we have create component set, and I'm just going to close this. Um, Likewise this one as well. So we're dealing with just this icon and the add button. And here is where we now, so these two are still showing, they are still part of this add button, they're still part of the frame, but it's, if I should clip the, not this, if I should clip this content, it actually, doesn't show anymore because it's actually part of the frame. But since the content is open, it shows. So prototyping, what we simply do is just untap a smart animate 300, like the default is okay. We also do the same here. Default is smart animate as well for the transition. and we can copy and see how it looks. Paste to replace. Now, I didn't mention how I usually bring up the um, device prototyping screen. So you can click on Shift Spacebar to do that. Shift Spacebar. So let's see. So this is how it is. There is a problem. You see this when it's going back up, it's coming from the top, and perhaps um the ad is not at the top. So just do send to front with close brackets, send to front, and that should change. But I still see something. So I want this right story take picture to kind of go in before coming down. And what we could do is opening this up. Let's open it up again. And clicking on right and picture from the design panel. So I need to bring them out so we could adjust something, the text. So what I feel we can do is to stagger it up a little bit, like make the text go to the side. I think I need to take that one back, send to back, make it go in a little bit. So it's here, but as it's going back in, you see the motion of the text is the position has changed, so it has to um, move as well while going back in to meet with the position, which creates the effect we need. Um, this send to back as well and stagger it up a little bit. I think this is good. So let's close back. Hmm. Let's see if that works. Good. Um, okay, and then we just align it together. This is center line, um, vertical center line, and then I take it back using my arrow key to adjust, and frame selection, closes back, just the way we had it before. Okay, so let's see. Shift spacebar to open up the prototyping screen. So do you see how it's? Let me open it in the main prototyping. One other thing to mention is sometimes when you try prototyping something and then you use um, the prototyping screen from the design here, this one, it sometimes would not work perfectly. It's always best to double check in this main prototyping section or tab. I've had that experience. So, but I just wanted to show you guys you see how it comes in as it's going down. That's what we want, and it's perfect. And the previous one, we had this. There's this little staggering. If you notice, if I should scroll and just hold and without just scroll it, there's this staggering that happens of the content, but that's just a little hitch that we can't really fix. It's just the way the prototype um, panel of the prototyping works on Figma. So, but it's good enough to demonstrate to a dev to say, okay, this is what I want. When I scroll down, it opens up. When I scroll back, it closes. and likewise the other one. Now that we've done that, one thing I noticed when I used the component was if we should scroll. Okay, let me first of all make this fixed. From this place, you can put the position fixed, stay in place. Now, if we should scroll, or if, when it's like this and we make it, it works fine, right? But if we should scroll, you see this stuff. I actually tried different ways to make sure that it doesn't happen like that, but I couldn't fix that. So I'm sure it's because of the positioning and the fact that I used a component set for the prototyping. So if to fix that, to still display that without that happening, you have to use two frames, which is the traditional way of like doing the prototyping. So with this, duplicating this, let me close the screen. So with the problem the issue I talked about here, if anyone in the comments know how to fix that, I'll be glad. I'm always open to learning. And um, so, but for this, you could just let me duplicate this component set, and I'm going to remove the prototyping here, right? So there are two different variants that are not connected, and I'm going to put the first one here and paste to replace to um, to replace that. And then for this, I'm going to copy this and put it here and also paste to replace. So with the component set, you see we have the prototyping here, right? And when we bring up one, the prototyping follows. It works that way. But and I love using that, like I mentioned earlier, to reduce the amount of frames I use. Now you see, now I have to duplicate this. So, but in cases where you have to, like this scenario where you have to, you can make them separate and then do the prototyping with the frames or in the frames. So here now I can say when I click on this, it comes here and it smart animates, and when I click back, comes back and smart animates. You have to make sure the names are the same, the position is the same, so you don't have any issues. And I'm going to fix both buttons, right? Also, you see the frame, the sizes, even though you're saying this to the frame I used, this is the size, they are both similar. Everything has to kind of be similar, right? So it's smooth the transition. So let's see if I should click on this, it still works. And if I should scroll and do it, it still works fine. So you see how it works well with if you do it in different frames, but with the component set, because we have the position fixed, it's not going to, it has a little problem when you scroll. So yeah, that's that for today's tutorial about floating buttons. I hope you did enjoy and learn something. If you did, please comment, like, and subscribe, because yeah, I'd really appreciate that. Have a wonderful rest of your day and see you in the next video.